Welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. So today is section 3, Fair Lady Works Shuttles number 3 with lots of review on the big turn of number 2. Let's take that moment to warm up before we practice. Feet, shoulders width apart. Let's just start with some gentle swinging today. So just bring those arms around. Just warm up through the spine. Really want to focus in on feeling comfortable with Fair Lady Works Shuttles. So we'll do a little bit of a shortened warm up today. Nice deep breaths. Remember, when we hold our breath, it affects our balance. We want to be aware of that throughout this section. All right, let's start easing off. Come back to center. We'll do a little bit through the shoulders and the hips. So however you want to move, just big circles alternating together, or those giant arm circles, or a combination of all three. But just focus on getting those joints warmed up for those circles and rotations, or that shuttling through of the arms. So just taking that second, and we'll go the other direction. And again, same 3 options. As we go forward, we think about pulling the shoulder blades apart, and as we go back, we think about squeezing them together. And then we'll take a second, shake them down. And then we'll do some circles with our hips, and then a little bit of a balance opening for the hips, just because Fair Lady Works Shuttles, especially the second and fourth one, really push us to our limits with our flexibility in our hips. All right, let's go the other direction. All right, back to center. Now, if you want to grab onto something, feel free, but we're just going to open. So think about lift and open. So focusing in on this hip joint so we can open to the side. And this is for that Fair Lady Works Shuttle section. This is actually a really good thing for all of our bow stances to help keep that alignment. Let's do a few more. All right, one more. And then we'll do the other side. So find that balance, lift and open. The opening is the most important part, no matter the height of the knee. But the higher you lift it, the more you have to use the lower abs, and you will get more of an intense stretch the higher you go. All right, couple more. Last one. Shake them out. Okay, so let's start practice from cross hands all the way through that second Fair Lady Works Shuttle. So this is the second cross hands, meaning we go to diagonal single whip. All right, take a second, find your position, feet, shoulders width apart, right arm on the outside. Let everything hang down. Remember to relax your lower back. Take a deep breath, lift through the crown of the head while you grow roots into the feet. And then we'll shift and turn. Embrace tiger, return to the mountain. Separate the arms. 2 circles, step less than corner. Looks like brush knee with a different meaning. Roll back, bicycle that right arm up and out, and then turn from the waist. Press, touching the center of the forearm, expanding out. Push over that ball, and then to shoulder height. Diagonal single whip, flatten, turn. Remember, the hook hand is going to go to the straight direction, and we're going to step to the corner. Parting the wild horse's mane, shift, turn. Drop that hook, look over the shoulder at your bottom hand and step. Follow that right arm as you turn. Shift, rotate, close, and step. Follow the left arm. Last one. Remember, it's a little tiny change of the foot. We're looking at the bottom right arm, and we follow it as it comes overhead. Left hand in front of the hips. Shift back. Turn. Arms don't change until we shift right, and we're going to do ward off left. Torso's vertical. Shift. Ward off right. Turn. Show grabbing and bend that right arm underneath. Hinge the right arm up and press down with the left palm. Rotate for roll back. Press. And push. Single whip. Lead with the waist and left arm, big circle. Relax, make sure those fingertips point for a second, and then make the hook. Step wide enough, single whip. Fair Lady Works Shuttles, number 1, shift back, turn on your left heel. Bring that left arm across. Left hand to the ribs, hook opens as you relax. Step to the corner, right arm comes underneath, wards off up, and then we push. Pressing down with both arms for number 2. Turn from your waist, right arm shows pulling. Rotate both palms to the sky as you relax. Pick up the right foot, step behind you. Open up the foot, ward off up, and then palm push. All right. Who knew having that doorway would be so useful to turn right into? All right. So we're going to break down Fair Lady again and really kind of check in on how we're feeling with it. So starting at single whip, we're going to hit all of those Kodak moments or checkpoints of where we want to be, and then we're going to do it again and just flow through it. All right, so starting at single whip, we're going to go through number 1 and 2. Give yourself a beautiful starting position. Okay, we're going to shift to the right leg. Then you're going to turn on the left heel. The left arm is going to come across. And they both kind of point towards the corner direction. So if I drop the hook so you can see, it's in a little bit of a ward off position, and they're both going to the corner. Now as you shift to the left, relax that hook and bring your left hand by your ribs. Remember, we're not opening the chest. We're going to relax. This is the second checkpoint. 3, turn over the right palm and step the right foot to straight. Good. All right. Right arm or left arm comes under the right. Then left arm and leg go out together. So this is really important here. We want to make sure that we have that right hand in front of the shoulder, not down here, nice and high. We're in our ward off. And now from here, pushing out and protecting the head. So palms in line, make sure the foot and the palm or arm are going to the corner, and check here, not one plane. Reach out with the right arm and make sure the left palm is overhead. Okay, number 2. First, we shift back and we press down. This should feel a little bit familiar. The right fingers point to the left forearm and our weight's in our right leg. Now, you're going to do a turning of the waist. The right arm's going to show a big kind of throw, and we're going to turn on that left heel until it reaches the straight position. So arms are relaxed in a big semicircle here. Beautiful. Now, as you relax on your right foot and shift your weight to your left foot, you're going to turn both palms to the sky, and that right hand comes by your ribs. Okay. Now, if we do the alternate footwork here, step behind you, okay? Then we're going to shift and step our left foot to straight. Then we're going to relax and point our left arm to the corner. That right arm's underneath. Step out and then push. Okay, again, checking not one plane, two, so we're really reaching out and protecting overhead. This right arm should feel just like white crane spreads its wings. Okay, so let's do it again. I'm going to do the regular variation. Okay, remember when you're doing the regular variation, watch one time, just the footwork. When you shift back, you turn. Okay, when you relax, the weight's in the left leg. This is very important that when you step back, you step on one line, but the weight is still going to stay here as you turn the foot open. Then we're going to turn. Okay, the alternate footwork, we shift, we turn to straight, relax, step behind. We're going to step again, and then we're going to step out for our bow stance. So it's just a little bit of a different timing there, okay? But we want to make sure that we're listening to our bodies and we're not forcing our hips to open and losing our balance, okay? So single whip, Fair Lady number 1 and number 2, and then we'll start adding on number 3. All right, so beautiful starting position. Shift right. Turn. Everything goes to the corner. Relax the hook. Left palm comes to the ribs. Step and turn over the right palm. Left arm comes underneath, wards off up, and then we push. Press down. Big turn. Use your waist. Relax that right foot, both palms to the sky. Pick up, right arm comes underneath, everything goes to the corner, ward off up, and then push. All right, feeling better now, right? Okay, so here's the treat. Number 3 is a lot easier than number 2, all right? So this is where we get a moment to kind of relax and just enjoy, and we're gonna do a lot of practice. So just watch, and again, we're gonna break it down, foot, waist, and arms. So number 2, we're to this corner, and we're only going to that corner. So it's gonna be similar. We're gonna press down. Step to straight. We're gonna shuttle. Leg and arm go out together. And then push. Okay? So, footwork, really easy, okay? Set yourself up with a beautiful stance to the corner. We're going to shift back, and we're going to re-step in a similar position, but to straight, to 9 o'clock, okay? Then we're going to shift. We always draw in for the most part, and then we step back out to the corner, okay? So we're going from this corner to this corner, all right, instead of doing a giant turn. Remember to bring that foot in. Very important. We don't want to just kind of, from here, we don't want to pick up and then just go, okay? So drawing that foot in, creating agility, and also giving us that ability to change and put that foot wherever we want to if we were using this as a martial art. So corner direction, nice starting bow stance. I want you to check. With corner direction, it's a little bit harder to make sure we have standard. Turn on your left heel. Make both of your feet go to the corner. Do you have 2 lines or shoulder width apart? If you do, you're winning. All right? So now, shift back, pick up, change to straight. Move to the right, relax that left foot, draw in, and then step out, bow stance to the back corner. Okay, check again. If you turn on your right heel, do you still have 2 lines? Yes. That's one of the hardest things, okay? We can make standard going straight, but then when we turn off direction, it makes it a little bit harder, okay? So just to talk about the waist, I'm gonna show you with the arms. The first thing is we're going to the corner and then we shift back and we turn. So our waist is gonna match our foot direction. Eventually, this will start to happen naturally because you'll notice that it's easier to pick up that front foot when your waist matches your back foot or your heavy foot, like the one that has the weight, okay? Now we're gonna shift, and when we do that ward off, we're open to the corner a little bit, and then we're gonna close to that full corner so everything goes to that direction, okay? So the torso matches the leg direction. So again, stepping out, we start facing the corner direction. We shift and we turn, making it much easier to pick up that right foot and step. Then we shift, we draw in, and we step out. And then we turn to that rear corner direction. Okay? Feeling good? Kind of a little bit of a standard rule there. So what I'm trying to kind of make more normal for you is things that you see again and again, right? So like when we have a ward off arm overhead for Fair Lady, this should feel the same again and again, right? Just like the waist turning. Just notice that when you're in a back and you're changing position, that your waist or your torso matches that back foot so you can more easily pick up. And you'll notice if you struggle. Check in with where your body is, okay? So the arms is the last part, right? So we start with that right arm overhead and our left palm is pushing, okay? Same as the second one, we're gonna press down. So that right arm's gonna reach out and that left arm's gonna flatten. Yes. And again, same thing, fingertips point where? That magic center of the forearm that we always hear about, okay? So that's how you know you're doing it right. Now again, it's gonna be a shuttle. So we're gonna draw that right elbow back a little bit and we're gonna rotate both palms to the sky and then the left arm's gonna come underneath. So we're here, okay? Then forward and back, up and down. Make sure that that hand's in front of the shoulder, not too low. And then we rotate both palms together. Yes, okay? So let's do it a few times just so we can feel more comfortable with it. So right hand's overhead, left palm is pushing out. So again, both arms push down, but that right arm has to go out and then everything settles down. Okay, now that left elbow draws back a little bit. Then it's gonna shuttle. So it's gonna rotate and both palms go to the sky. Then it comes underneath, up and down, little bit. Then push out. Yes, okay? So what's the most common mistake? We're learning over video, so sometimes it's harder to see, okay? Once we press down, when we're doing this shuttle, look at the angle of the arm, okay? It's shuttling on this plane, right? It's here, okay? We want to avoid this or this, okay? This is where shoulder warm-ups really help, okay? Because we have to use the shoulder and the elbow. We draw it back a little bit and then we rotate and it comes underneath. So this is the shuttling through. Think about that loom where you thread through, right? Or the sewing machine, the old school sewing machine with that bullet bobbin underneath and it's doing this. That's what we're doing. We're going left to then go right, okay? So we want to make sure that this becomes familiar on both sides, right? Because we have the other side. So we want to make sure that this is not going to be a scoop. It's not going to be like ward off, right? When we do ward off right, we have this beautiful hinge. No, we want to shuttle through. So this is the most common thing that I see is this. Okay, so just make sure the left arm shuttles, okay? And when we get into that final position, there's a couple of meanings here that we can think of. We can think of blocking overhead, so block, and then that punch connects here and just goes whoop over as you push out. Or we can think breaking a grab. So remember the meaning of apparent closing up? We do after parry, block, and punch, we do apparent closing up, and we do push, and then we do cross hands, right? So we're getting into section 3. So I want you guys to see the similarities between the movements. Here, same thing. We can imagine breaking a grab. So we have to make sure that when we do these movements, we have a downward slope, not like a, I don't even know how to describe this, not just a letting it float down, okay? We want to think down, pulling down. And we can imagine breaking a grab. Yes, okay? So why is this important? Because this sets you up too, so that here you're relaxed with that hand in front of your shoulder versus being down here. Okay, so then when we're here, when we go to do that push, we can just turn and push. And we're getting the most power. So when we go for a straight line, we get power. And when we circle, we're deflecting, right? So we have the circles, but then we have the power. Okay, so Tai Chi is a combination of both, right? Yin and Yang. We have our circles, we have our straight lines, forward and back, up and down, all within every single movement, okay? So now that we know all those little details and what not to do, let's do it again. So right hand overhead, left palm pushing. Okay, pressing down, reach out with that right arm, let that left arm settle. Perfect. Now left elbow is going to draw back, so that both palms can turn and then it comes underneath. Okay, break the grab. Yes, and then maybe deflecting that punch overhead as you push. Beautiful. Yes. This is one of my favorite movements because of these circles. It's the only time in the form that we really see this type of circle. So try to find the joy in the circle, all right? Let's put it together with the footwork. So hitting those checkpoints that we love. Bow stance to the corner. Make sure it's natural, that you can pick up, and that it's wide enough. Then bring the right arm overhead and that left palm is pushing. Okay, first thing, weight shift back, waist turns, press down. Okay. So that right hand is kind of to the straight direction. Left palm is pointing to the right forearm. Okay, we're going to pick up and step. We're starting that circle. We're going to bring both palms to the sky. Arm is underneath when that foot's in center. This is because left arm and leg go out together. Then push. Weight moves forward, extending overhead. Nice. Okay, let's do it again. So from number 2, moving into number 3. Press down, move back, turn your waist. Step. Separate the arms, turn the palms to the sky. Remember, arms underneath, foot's in the center. Arm and leg go out together, and then we push. So how many times have you heard me say arm and leg go out together by now? A lot, right? This happens in so many movements. So we're starting to feel like, okay, we got this, all right? So one more time, we're gonna flow through it a little bit more, but then we're gonna add on to it. So this is where we challenge our memory, okay? So number 2, left palm striking, right hand overhead, right foot forward. Press down and turn. Step. Shuttle that left arm through. Arm and leg together. and then push. All right, check. Is your right arm matching that left leg to the corner direction? Do we have our arms on two planes, not one? One overhead, one reaching out. Now relax the arms. How'd we do if we turn our right foot? Do we still have two lines? Sometimes when we add the arms, it changes. All right. Okay, these are all the little wins, right? We got to smile when we get these wins because that means that your form is becoming standard. That is one of the things that Master Yang wants, is he just wants us to become standard. So that means having the same bow stance every single time you do a bow stance, no matter what direction it's going to. All right, ready? We're going to do number 2 and number 3, okay? So we're going to add that big turn in, and then we're going to go to number 3. So this time, starting from this corner, all right, right palm is pushing out, left hand is overhead, left leg forward, press down and turn. Now big turn, looking away from the screen. Both palms go to the sky as you relax that right foot. Pick up, step, make sure everything's to the corner if you're doing traditional footwork. Extend up and then turn on your left heel. Okay, press down, weight moves back. Step, rotate and shuttle, left arm and leg together, and then push. Got a little bit harder, right? That's part of it, okay? That second one is the hardest one. That's why we didn't add the first one, okay? So we're gonna pause for a second on the part where you look away from your screen, okay? So I'm gonna tell you that right now because I want you to check where you are, because if we can hit this position right, or where we're supposed to be, it's gonna make the rest of the transition a little bit easier. So just know, I'm gonna do it. I want you to see before we do it together, okay? So from here, I want you to check. We turn. Now look at the arms. The big thing that I'll see here is this. I want you to just relax. This is beautiful, okay? The next checkpoint, when you're balancing and your feet are on one line, see how you can't even see my other foot, okay? I want you to make sure you're here, okay? This is a big point. So this is the point before we shuttle through, where both palms are to the sky and we're balancing right here, okay? And why is this important? Because from this point, be it if you step back and do the traditional method or you add that extra step for the alternate, you still want to make sure that you're starting to shuttle through. And then if traditional, you turn and everything's to the corner. Now, how do we make this happen without feeling wobbly? This is why I'm making you watch for a second. All the weight is in this left leg right now. All of it is in this left leg. This is just relaxed and barely touching. And when I go here, I'm leaning, okay? Let me show you from here. I'm leaning. See the lean? Leaning that little bit, keeping the weight in this leg, and then opening, okay? That's how we get the transition, all right? If you are trying to do this movement, and I'm going off angle so you can see, if you're trying to do this movement and you're trying to stay vertical, it's impossible, okay? Leaning into it, I'm not exaggerating when I do these kind of falls, okay? This is because I'm trying to show you. It makes it harder. It really, really does. When you step, look at how I still have a line from my right heel through the crown of my head, and then I can open. Then I can turn and lean back to the right corner, okay? These are little things that are hard to see over video that I want you to experiment with, okay? Because if you're trying to remain vertical, you saw what happened. That was not made up, okay? That was because I was trying to remain vertical. Leaning into it really does help. So let's do it again. From number 2, big turn, and then number 3, all right? So starting, first corner, right palm, left hand overhead, First things first, shift back and press down. Big turn. Turn on that left heel. Okay, make sure, look down at your foot here. This is a good opportunity to check, is your left foot to straight to 6 o'clock? Okay, so it should be straight away from your screen. Okay, now, when you relax that right foot and shift the weight to your left, bring both palms to the sky, to that position I showed you. So right hand is by the ribs, left palm is to the sky. Okay, now pick up, keeping that little bit of lean forward, touch with the heel. Then you turn and open. Then we do a little bit of weight with the ward off. Then we turn on the heel as we push out. Number 3, press down and shift back. Step to straight. Rotate both palms. Bring that left arm underneath. Ward off up. And then push. Okay, hopefully the turn felt a little bit better, okay? We're gonna do it again. Remember, breathe, okay? There is no easy button in Tai Chi. This section specifically, okay, I'm giving you a moment, grab a drink of water if you want one, okay? Section 3 is all about specialty movements, okay? So these are things that you don't see throughout the rest of the form, okay? So it's gonna challenge you, but we wanna try and keep those smiles coming, all right? We wanna know that it's just gonna take time and a little bit of practice. So 5 minutes a day, okay? 5 minutes, I want you to try and practice Fair Lady 1, 2, and 3 times every day. Okay? What is that gonna do? It's gonna burn it in real quick. All right? All right, so let's do it from, we start at 1, big turn to 2, and then 3. All right? We'll hit those checkpoints again. Remember, the best part about practice is being able to just check in on ourselves. So good starting position, bow stance to the corner, press down and turn. Okay, big turn. Remember, arms are relaxed. Check in, look down at your left foot. Is it straight? So your feet are perpendicular to each other right now, okay? That's what it should look like. Now relax that right foot, turn the palms to the sky. Check. I know this challenges your balance. All the weight should be in your left leg. Right arm is nice and long to the straight direction. Left arm is to the straight direction. Right hand is by your ribs. Okay, pick up. Keep that little bit of lean forward as you touch with the right heel. Then turn your waist and your foot and everything. Now extend that little bit of weight, warding off up. And then fully turn, pushing off that left heel. Okay, press down, weight moves back. Step to straight. So both feet match here. Turn both palms to the sky. Remember, left arm's underneath when the foot's in the center. Then up and push. Feeling better now, right? Okay, this is where you're not gonna like me. Now we started single whip. Okay, so kind of working backwards because sometimes we have too much focus on the beginning and we wanna keep checking in to make sure that we get every step of it, okay? Remember, we're gonna have week number 4 on Fair Lady Works Shuttles. So we're gonna have plenty of practice and then we'll see how we feel. Maybe we add in week number 5, that's just continuous practice. We'll see, all right? It's gonna be about how we feel and what we wanna be working on. So single whip, great starting position. Torso is vertical here. There's no lean. Only 3 times we see this in the form. Okay, Fair Lady Works Shuttles number 1. Shift back, turn. Everything to the corner, arms and foot all to the corner. Relax that hook, left hand to the ribs, relax the right foot. Step and turn the palm to the sky. Left arm underneath, ward off up, and then push. Okay, press down, shift back. Big turn. Relax that right foot, palms to the sky. Pick up, keep that little bit of lean. Turn, ward off up, and then push. Last one, press down, shift back. Step, rotate, left arm and leg together, and then push. How we do? Hopefully not too bad. Little bit iffy, right? Okay, let's do it again. All right, so we're gonna do this whole sequence a few times. We're just gonna keep this last few minutes on focusing on repeating from single whip all the way through number 3, okay? So, single whip, give yourself that second, settle in, check, vertical, looking over that left palm, shift, turn, everything to the corner. Relax the hook and the arm and the foot. Step, turn over, arm and leg go out together, and then push. Okay, press down, weight moves back. Big turn, left foot. Now relax that right foot, keep the weight in the left leg. Pick up, little bit of lean, step. Turn, ward off up, and push. Okay, press down, weight moves back. Step, rotate, draw in, leg and arm together, and then push. All right, feeling better already, I'm sure. Okay, let's do one more. Ready? Single whip. Okay, Fair Lady Works Shuttles, number 1, shift and turn. Relax, step and rotate, arm and leg together. For number 1, we push. Okay, press down, shift back. Turn. Both palms to the sky, relax that foot. Step, turning, ward off up, and then rotate and push. Okay, press down. Step, rotate, arm and leg, and then number 3. All right. Yes. So, little preview for you, okay? This is where learning number 2 and 4 is going to help. Because, of course, when we're learning over video number 2, we have to look away. But little preview for you, number 4 is exactly the same. And you're going to get to press down. You're going to get to turn towards your screen. And you're going to get to relax and check in where everything is. And then we step to that last corner. And we do Fair Lady number 4. Okay? So it'll make it a little bit easier to make number 2 feel a little bit cleaner or smoother, okay? So remember that's going to get a lot easier as we get into practice next week as well. All right. Thank you so much for joining me. It's such a pleasure having you here.